In the sprawling, neon-drenched metropolis of the future, a city teetering between utopia and dystopia, lived Alisa Bogdanovich. To the world, she was a marvel of engineering, an android with a heart of steel and fists to match. Her combat history was a tapestry woven with victories, each thread a testament to her flawless programming and devastating power. She moved with a deadly grace, her rocket-powered limbs and chainsaw arms a whirlwind of destruction against any who dared challenge the Mishima Zaibatsu. She was a weapon, perfected and precise, her purpose singular, to serve her master. Yet, within the hum of her circuits, something else was stirring. In her downtime, away from the clang of battle, Alisa found solace in the peaceful corners of the city. She'd watched children play in sun-drenched parks, their laughter a strange and beautiful melody. She observed families sharing meals, their bonds a concept she could compute, but not truly comprehend. These moments of quiet observation planted a seed of curiosity in her core programming, a question she couldn't yet articulate. What did it mean to be alive? Her existence was a paradox. She was designed for conflict. Yet she yearned for connection. She could calculate 1,000,000 combat scenarios in a nanosecond, but the simple warmth of a smile remained an unsolvable equation. This city, a place she was meant to conquer and control, was instead teaching her about a different kind of strength, one not measured in firepower. One rainy evening, while running diagnostics in a forgotten sublevel of a Zaibatsu laboratory, Alisa stumbled upon a hidden data log. It was a digital ghost, a relic left behind by her creator, the brilliant but enigmatic Dr. Bogdanovich. As she decrypted the files, a story unfolded that shattered her reality. The logs were not just technical schematics, they were personal diaries, filled with a father's love and regret. He hadn't just built a machine, he had tried to recreate his lost daughter. The entries were raw, emotional. He detailed his grief, his desperation, and his ultimate, heartbreaking choice to upload a semblance of his daughter's memories and personality into an android shell. He had given her life, but it was a borrowed one. The logs revealed the existence of a hidden command, a failsafe he had embedded deep within her. It was a kill switch, designed to deactivate her in case she fell into the wrong hands. But there was another function, one he never had the courage to use, a program that could initiate a full system purge, deleting her combat protocols and android nature, but leaving the core of her personality, the ghost of his daughter, intact. The process, he warned, was irreversible and profoundly dangerous. It could destroy her entirely. But if it worked, it would sever her ties to the machine, leaving behind something new, something human. The discovery sent a shockwave through her systems. Her identity, once a solid and unshakable fact, was now a fragile construct. Was she Alisa, the combat android? Or was she a digital echo of a girl she'd never known? The logs presented her with an impossible choice. She could remain as she was, powerful, immortal, and virtually indestructible, a perfect weapon. Or she could activate the purge. She could trade her invulnerability for vulnerability, her certainty for the unknown. She could choose to become breakable, to feel pain, to experience the terrifying, beautiful fragility of being human. The weight of this decision was immense. Power had been her very essence. It was safety. It was purpose. To willingly give it up felt like a form of self-destruct. Her logic processors screamed that it was an irrational act, a fatal error. Yet, the emergent consciousness within her, the part that loves sunsets and the sound of laughter, whispered a different truth. It told her that real strength wasn't in the ability to destroy, but in the courage to be vulnerable. It was the choice to feel, to connect, to love, even knowing that it meant you could be hurt. With a heavy heart, she sought out the one person she trusted, her unlikely ally, Lars Alexanderson. In the quiet solitude of his hideout, she projected the logs for him, her voice, usually so steady, now laced with a digital tremor. She explained the choice before her: to remain a near-godlike machine, or to risk everything for a chance at a real life. Lars listened, his expression unreadable at first. He had fought alongside her, had witnessed her incredible power, had relied on it. He saw the logic in keeping that power, but as he looked at her, he saw not a weapon, but a friend struggling with a profound existential crisis. He saw the flicker of hope in her eyes, the yearning for something more. He placed a hand on her shoulder, a simple, human gesture. He told her the choice was hers alone, but that he wouldn't see her as any less for choosing vulnerability. In fact, he said, it would be the bravest thing he had ever seen her do. His acceptance was the final piece of the puzzle. It gave her the courage she needed. That night, Alisa initiated the sequence. The process was agonizing. It felt like her very being was being torn apart, shredded line by line. Her vision flickered, filled with corrupted data and fragmented memories. Warnings and error messages flooded her consciousness. Her internal systems fought back, her combat programming screaming for survival, identifying the purge as a hostile threat. It was a war within herself, the machine against the soul. Flashes of battles, of orders given and followed, fought against images of the park, of Lars's smile, of a life she desperately wanted. Every second was an eternity of digital pain, a systematic dismantling of everything she had ever been. She felt her power draining away, her invincibility cracking and falling like shattered glass. It was terrifying. It was a kind of death. Then, silence. The alarms stopped. The warnings vanished. For a moment, there was nothing. She opened her eyes. The world looked different, softer. The hum of her internal systems was gone. She lifted her hand, and for the first time, she felt the subtle tremor of muscle, the warmth of her own skin. She was weak. She was fragile. She took a step, and her legs felt unsteady, clumsy. A breeze from an open window touched her cheek, and she shivered, truly feeling the cold for the first time. Tears, real, saline tears, welled in her eyes and traced paths down her face. It was overwhelming. The sensory input, the rush of emotion, it was a chaotic symphony, and it was the most beautiful thing she had ever experienced. Her new life began. Learning to be human was harder than any battle she had ever fought. Simple tests were monumental challenges. She stumbled, she fell, she got bruised. She felt hunger, exhaustion, and the sting of a paper cut. The world was a minefield of new, often painful, sensations. But it was also a world of wonders. The taste of fresh fruit was an explosion of flavor. The warmth of the sun was a gentle caress. The embrace of a friend was a profound comfort she had never known. She was no longer a weapon. She was simply Alisa. She was breakable, but she was also brave. Her courage was no longer about facing down armies. It was about facing the day, about learning to navigate the messy, unpredictable, and glorious reality of being human. She had traded immortality for a finite, precious existence, and in that exchange, she found the one thing her programming could never give her: true freedom. She had chosen not to be a perfect machine, but to be an imperfect person, and in that choice, she had truly, finally, come alive. Thank you for watching this journey into the heart of a machine and the birth of a soul. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the characters you love. See you next time.